I'm Merida, and I'm unboxing my veg box for Yellowbird Food Shed, which is available in Ohio, United States. It is the mini box, and it is available for $25 if you go to one of the pickup points, or with delivery, $10 more is $35. So I find that delivery option incredibly helpful, especially if you're dealing with disability, just you're a carer, just you have a lot going on. Everyone's at zero bandwidth right now, so the ability to take things off of your plate and focus on what you cannot give to others to do for you is very key and important. It saves me 10 hours a week in grocery shopping and the get up and bother of doing so. So I still do go grocery shopping on top of this, but this does help me just get the actual greens and the quality that I want. And the veg lasts a lot longer because it's local food. It hasn't crisscrossed the United States twice to go through the 2 dull processing plants. This veg was picked, with the exception of probably the oranges, about a day and a half ago versus 2 to 3 weeks. So the way that I choose to store my fresh greens in the refrigerator is just wrapped in paper towel, a paper napkin, or a flour sack towel in the layers to absorb any extra water from it, and then just leave it open on a plate. So I have like either a shallow dish or a plate available that I just stack in with the towels and the greens, and it absorbs the water, and that helps it stay even longer. Where most of my greens, if my eating hasn't been that great, will stay up to 2 weeks. So if you're having trouble eating salads, you like salads, but it's just constantly rotting, part of the issue is the plastic bag, part of the issue is the shipping, and part of the issue is even if you get the unpackaged lettuce or kales in the shops, they spray water on it to make it shiny, because humans by default are attracted to shiny things. All primates are. They do that to make it look prettier so people are more likely to buy it. The extra water causes it to rot faster. So there is a just inherent problem 3 times over of buying lettuces and fresh produce from grocery stores for that reason, is they're actually causing it to rot rather quickly, more than it should. Even after the shipping, or even if they do manage to get some locals. I've noticed a little bit of local is showing up in Kroger, which I don't really shop there anymore, and there is a large push at Whole Foods, which is really convenient on my commute, and I just like walk over from work, that they have a lot of local products throughout their product range, so that's incredibly helpful. But as everyone is going through my script, I have everything written out at a time so I ramble less. My family's so jealous I don't do that all the time. Then it's just really working out for me, so I like to share with other people of like, hey, use this veg box. I used one when I was a customer of Abel & Cole in London, UK, when I went to school there, and just fell in love with veg boxes. So much more variety. You actually get a lesson of like what's in my box and the emails, and you actually have to learn to identify a much wider variety of lettuces and foods and beets, and they're fairly interchangeable how they cook, a little bit of different flavor here and there, but there's more variety than I even see at my local farmer market, so it works out really great. And we'll start with a perfect example of that, which despite my years of veg box surprised me. Now you just see, first of all, we have no packaging other than that rubber band, which is great to be reused. So I'm very happy that some of the farms have started to do that. Now look at that, and I'm like, oh, is that an arugula? Is that a curly kale? I'm like, but that looks a little different. It's apparently called shingu, and it is chrysanthemum greens. I'm like, okay, and they also give you a link to, on your What's in My Box, of how do you prepare it, even though for me, my cooking expertise, I'm just like, okay, yeah, this I can handle. They say, you know, go ahead raw or cooked, or, you know, it's greens, use it. And they say it has a light bitter flavor, and I notice that it does have a floral herbal aroma. For obvious reasons, the chrysanthemum, that's a little consistent, versus more of a bitter, a kale or a lettuce type flavor. So as I keep making a hand puppet out of lettuce, there you go. Actually chrysanthemum green, so I got the rest of the flower bouquet, but it's quite nice. That was supplied by Bradwood Farms. Some of the farmers are actually part of the farmfluencer movement, so you can actually look them up on YouTube and see following their farm and how they operate, which is really great. Obviously the Amish families wouldn't be doing that, but several of the other families are. Next one, there's no label on it, but we do have a plastic bag because it's loose salad greens for the most part. So here is that green. I'm fairly confident that is arugula. And I'll still even use the stems. Arugula is not that difficult to work with. And I went through back and forth. There's so many different salads and greens available this week, going through the various size boxes, that one I went back and forth on. This one is apparently Chef's Harvest. So very happy getting from them. Plastic bags, reuse them for something. I see they're starting to move more and more away from the plastic packaging. I know some of the mycology farmers and the fungus growers providing for the boxes are also, making the effort as they take steps as a business to move out of plastic packaging, so that is really great. So everyone starts somewhere, and everyone's a beginner once. Here we have a summer crisp butter lettuce, or summer crisp lettuce, hydroponic, Chef's Harvest. I've gotten very, very good, consistent veg from this family. It's an Amish family farm. The hydroponics, most of the lettuces we get, if not all of them, especially in the winter, are all grown in the hoop houses. They're protected from any outside concerns in Ohio right now. So, they test their water. And so this is actually a food supply that I have a lot of confidence in. Understandably, the business owners and everyone working together with the food shed are like, how does this affect our food? What's recently gone on in March of 2023. But with my background in biology, I'm still extremely confident to continue to work forward with them, and all the foods they're providing. They're, educating themselves and working with what they can to assure themselves before they, encourage anyone else to move forward with their products as well. And quite frankly, you can also boil it back down to one of their favorite slogans. I actually have the hoodie for it. It says, "Who grew your food?" I actually know where this came from. I can actually Google it and know the exact farm that this came out of. I can send an email and know the exact hoop house they brought it out of. So the names of the people, the 4 or 5 people in that family farm going through the hydroponic hoop house and just picking it out, versus I go to the store and, goodness, where is this from? And your best information is what country it's from. Most of it's green grocer distributors. So it's a lot easier to have confidence in what I'm eating with all concerns involved, rather than shifting back to some other source of my food. So I enjoy the fact that, despite concerns, that this has actually been a very durable, reliable source of food that I have confidence in, and I can tell that my body is continuing to feel better and improve, even with my fairly low exercise levels right now, which is embarrassing because I work for a gym, but we're still going on. The next opportunity that they sent me, perennial favorites, the good old carrot. Since I have the mini box they sent for 1 or 2 people, they completely underestimate how much I'm a woodland animal and will eat carrots. But this is a fair bit. They're gone in midair, so air fry, roast, whatever, if you bother. I just eat them straight. They don't even get to the point of a salad. And those are grown by Great River Organics, so it's nice to get. They have no sticker on here, but it's nice to get just a good package of organic carrots, and continue forward. Next week I got 3 oranges, navel variety from Zava Ranch, which is out in California. And again, the food shed works with a few farms outside of the Ohio area for non-climate appropriate foods. So to get that vitamin C, to get the opportunity for fresh, very pulpy orange juice, where I just peel it and put it in the blender and get pulp and all, maybe dilute it with a little bit of water if I want, and don't waste the pulp. And then I make degreaser, cleaner, air freshener just by soaking the peels in alcohol for 3 months. Well, 3 days and you get a orange degreaser cleaner. 3 months, then it's orange oil extract, and I can add it to other things. Next opportunity, and I'll take these out the bag because they're a little more interesting. It helps when scissors work. And here we have a beet variety. And this beet mix is from Great River Organics again. So imagine the price point, and they just put in a medley. And there's also several different types that you can order in addition on the website. With this veg box, I've actually learned how much I like beets. Before, I just had lots of pickled beets, typically added to my salads. Very, very British to have my pickled beets all the time. But they cook basically with the same care that you would put into a potato. So whether you're chopping them up with potatoes or sweet potatoes or any other just root vegetable, celeriac, or just themselves, large dice and throw them in the air fryer, 400, 15 minutes later, oil and salt, and they're edible and nice. Add spices as you prefer. They can be roasted, again, 45 minutes to an hour, depending, in the oven, or a quick cook in the microwave, same as potatoes. Medium to large dice, olive oil, salt, a spice if you prefer, and about 8 to 10 minutes in a microwave on high, and then you have a side dish of the beets and potatoes. And you realize I speak with my hands and constantly play hand puppet. They need to make a better character at some point. So I enjoy trying out the different colors and variety of beets, as well as celeriac and all other root vegetables. Some people may get put off like, ooh, I've never had that before. And it's like, well, that's part of the enjoyment, part of the subscription box aspect. But it's also, good to try things out. It's like, in general, you're going to get a type of green lettuce, a type of bitter lettuce or bitter greens, and you prepare them slightly different and balance the flavors. You get potato and root vegetable and potato-like things such as beets and turnips and rutabagas. They all cook the same way. Bitter greens you prepare generally the same way, and put in smoothies and balance with fruit or stevia. So, radishes and carrots are a little bit more familiar, but they'll get different varieties in. Just like our next product, my paper bag. I enjoy getting the paper bag for this because, as I mentioned before, I really enjoy making popcorn, and for logistics of all different things, tiny apartment, getting the organic so I don't have the glyphosate exposure from the corn, joys of Ohio. Having a popping machine, or using the Stasher silicone bags, and they're so small you make 1/8 of a cup at a time, and at that point I'm kind of making a tablespoon and a half of popcorn at a time, and I'm not that patient as a person when I'm trying to make it just a snack and sit down. So it's great if you've already got a microwave, most people do, to just put your popcorn and some oil and salt, about 1/4 of a cup at a time, let that pop up, dump into a bowl, next 1/4 cup, pop that up. Oil and salt, pick your favorite varieties, and monitor in the microwave for around 2 minutes on high. They're all different from the wattage, voltage, whatever, wattage, different strengths, and listen, and when there starts to be almost a second between the pops, and it's like pop, 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 and more of it instead of blah, 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 then you want to take it out because then it'll start burning. So you just basically listen to it, and that's basically all the difference, unless you've got it really sorted out with your microwave and the timing. Mine doesn't like to cooperate. So we're friends and we get along and we negotiate something as simple as popcorn. And in this one we have purple potatoes again. There are over 200 types of potatoes, varietals, originating from Peru, and those are just the heirloom. So the varietals on top of it, yeah, there's a lot of potatoes, so I definitely always have to look it up when they send me it. Well, okay, I'll get that later. A potato that's different than one of the 5 you see at the grocery store, and this is a Purple Sun from Great River Organics, and if at a hobby. And I had these again last week, and they're really, I mean, it's the noble potato. So yeah, I made chips out of it. You know, they went in the air fryer, and they were had with, you know, something as elegant as mayonnaise and ketchup. But I don't care. It's a potato. It tastes really nice. This has more of a slight yellowy flesh to it. So if you're that much of a potato aficionado, there you go. Okay, I'm getting that after the video. Onward. I did get some extras last week, and I've discovered that editing is so difficult, or my bandwidth is so narrow, that I'm not going to edit. It's just easier to refilm. The show must go on, so I'll just do that moving forward until I learn to edit. An extra I got last week with a bit more in it. As you notice, I have obsessed quite a bit about the popcorn, with the expense of, you know, the great gluten-free snack or something. Whether you're doing the price breakdowns of the paper bags, or you're doing the price breakdowns of the all-day pre-made in the foil bags, or the lesser evil because that's the organic versions, it saves about $15 a pound on popcorn. So for snack food, it's, even though I'm getting this very nice organic popcorn, since I've already had some, it's delicious. It's hard to make popcorn I don't like. But it's from the Stutzman family farm. I get a lot of different grains from them, as I showed in my first video. And it allows me to have my organic, gluten-free quality of life at a much lower price point than even Aldi. And also a hack for, or just insight into general pantry and lunch prep for your family, or if you choose to give popcorn as part of your snacks for lunches, adult or child. You can pop the popcorn ahead of time, because, you know, we obviously buy it in those bags ahead of time. And movie theaters will pop up a bunch at once and then put it in a plastic bag and then bring it back down and just reheat the pre-pop popcorn. That, oh, it's fresh pop. No, it isn't. Sometimes it can be. So just reusing that same paper bag, got the first batch done and just keep going through, make up the whole bit in maybe like 15 minutes, and then you've got all the popcorn made up, and just separate it however you choose to for your lunch and snack preps, and then that's nice and easy. This was about $4 for a pound, so $4 and change. Again, the price breakdown, it still saved me about $15 a pound regardless, and it got delivered to my house, so I didn't have to bother with that. Another extra I got was actually in personal care, and this is the hard lotion in wood spice. So there is an obvious, there used to be a nice embossing on it, but I've used it quite a bit by now. Used to be some sort of bee form on there. And they have made it with shea butter first ingredient, coconut oil, which is good for me with sense of stress. Coconut oil, some people don't respond to particularly well. My skin, clear preference for it because of just whatever stress. Stressed skin, like if you've used the hangover products from Too Faced, or the rehab product from the rehab line from Pacifica that's available at Ulta. When you actually use those in the coconut alkenes, which is also present in Bare Minerals Gel Hydration Rescue, the skin that works out really well for is one where they're under a lot of stress, physically, emotionally, illness, and my dermatologist that I previously had gave me a professional opinion, professional confidence opinion of a moisturizer that had very high up on the ingredients, coconut alkenes. So coconut oil and I get along. So shea butter, coconut oil, beeswax, and then pure essential oil. So they don't really divulge everything they're saying, but it obviously smells of cedar, pine, and maybe something else. So I'm partially there as a perfumer aficionado. Works great as an actual perfume cologne, not too strong, you know, people 10 feet away aren't smelling you, but you smell nice. It's very comforting. I particularly find wood scents unisex. It's also great as a moisturizer. It is designed as a hard lotion. It's great for the cuticles, also the elbows, and really sticking with it, or if you do any more physical work with your hands. I found it very useful, and I also enjoy using it as a lip balm as well. Works very well for my skin, and it's about half the price of what firm solid lotions cost at Lush, which we can get in the Columbus area. So this was, yeah, this is a little over, yeah, I'll go with an ounce. And it was $7. And then we've just got this great reusable tin. And I've even got ideas going, very easy to open, so very arthritis friendly. I've even got ideas going of slicing it up a bit and then mixing, you know, putting that another hard lotion in there and making a little kit out of it. So, you know, I'm all about my go bags with my different jobs that I work, or going out and workouts, my travel bags and everything else. I just have go bags and just spare myself the repacking everything on a daily basis. So this is doubly very good because it continues to help me build my go bags without having to purchase more items, which actually can be very difficult to just source a decent tin or inkwell or bottle to repurpose. This has also been used as well. The candle holder is actually from Dollar Tree. Some of them are still available, but Dollar Tree's been showing itself as being a little too hit or miss, a little too thrill of the hunt, and not reliable. They'll get a great product in, it sells out, and you know, their sustainability products that they have are really in and out the door. So this is a votive candle, and it's burned down a bit, and it was $1.89 for a solid 100% beeswax candle. So there's no carcinogens when you burn it, and you know, no diesel fuels involved in, you know, your house. And beeswax has the longest burn time of any type of general wax that is used. I did the research on it, and the burn time for paraffin votives, yeah, it said about 1 hour, and then the soy will throw for like 8 to 10 hours. So there may be a few hours without a paraffin, you know, Dollar Tree candle, or, you know, even more luxurious candles if you choose to purchase from somewhere else. But my bog standard cheapest candles you can get, you'll get a box of 4 votives or you can get a box of 4 paraffin votives at Dollar Tree, but then the combined burn time, if you're using them singly, is actually shorter. So for $1.89, you're actually getting more product, and you don't have to chase it down or hope it's in stock or any of that. And it's a very small purchase, you know, if you need to, you know, build up several. just have one a week added and have that consistent purchase for the brand. She also has a lot of different sizes available. Linda Gill beeswax candles. Some of them actually have decorative designs to them. And I went with my good old basic. I get 15 to 16 hours of burn time of a candle. It's just really helpful and relaxing for me to just have a candle burning when I'm doing my journaling. It's just a nice mood, a nice vibe. So it's always nice for me to have those, and I typically have I go through a lot of candles. So I can happily keep adding them to my order, and will actually cost me less money than continuing to purchase small candles from Dollar Tree, especially if I'm just using them as just general light and not double using them for an aesthetic container or a particular fragrance. But I'll be moving away from that source anyway, as I've been able to make small changes that reserve resources and make eco-friendly choices that reserve resources, and then I have money to pivot and go do something else, and then buy something, which again gives me opportunity to pivot and save more money. I am quite strange that I am one of those people who has actually lowered my expenses by thousands per year during the inflation, price gouging, cost of living crisis, because I enjoy consumer maths, and I've just gone through all the numbers and just used my biochemistry education to like, what can I do? What's another way to do that? How do you formulate that? And I'll be bringing a lot more of that type of content to my channel, of my ability to understand the compounds I'm working with, or, you know, its chemical or its microbial stability when used in different ways, or just mixed at home in a generally sanitary way. So thank you so much for joining me. Especially if you made it this far in the video with my personality, and comment constructively, and please subscribe, and I will have more content coming up. And I have an Instagram channel which is a little bit more developed, and it is Merida Ellison, up there, Merida Ellison, and I am an arbiter of accessible sustainability, and that are culturally inclusive and include the art of living. So it's a lot of living well, having nice food to eat, having, you know, nice decor to your own taste level. Deer are really important to me culturally, and cozy knits and candles and that sort of thing, and nice perfumes. So living a nice life. I'm clearly not in a capacity to demonstrate or want to demonstrate myself as a minimalist. That's my closet. Deal with it. Tiny apartment. That's my coats on my way out the door. So my desk is part of my entryway system. I somehow turned a studio apartment into 7 rooms. I have skills from living in big cities. So, but I love being an arbiter of accessible sustainability and helping people with disability carers, people with children, people adulting, and the admin. Everyone's at zero bandwidth right now, and I actually enjoy shopping and in consumer maths and breakdowns and strategies as a hobby, and being a supplier and finding those great aspects. So I have an opportunity to use something that I do just as a side hobby and fun, sourcing my own food, sourcing my own eco-sustainable, low-cost options, that aren't full of nonsense, which I have many conversations with my mom about, and then presenting those opportunities that, oh, look, I'm a squirrel, look what I found, to the audience, and be able to provide links and referral codes, and also further on links to Amazon of well-sourced items, or, taking those first steps until you can grow and get better and get even better sourcing. So I hope you enjoyed this foray into the vegetable I bring into my house, and a few little extras on how I live well while actually conserving money overall. So thank you so much. Like, comment constructively, subscribe if you'd like, and thank you so much. I'll see you next time.